Your problems and the solutions to them constitutes one path. The spiritual elevation of life is another path. The second path is more significant as it is the way to activation of Kundalini, the way to Sahasrar, the way to realization of God, the way to establish the Guru in yourself, the way to salvation, and the way to Siddhashram. Along with moving on the first path, you should also strive to progress on the second path. And there are three conditions for moving forward on this path. Firstly, you should offer your selfless services to the Guru. If you do not serve him, you cannot progress on this path. Selfless service is the basis to spiritual enlightenment. You people are not serving the Guru. You can't experience the divinity of river Ganga in his holy feet. You look at his feet as merely his feet, and hence you cannot become enlightened. State of enlightenment means that on seeing him, your eyes fill up with tears of joy. It means that you cannot remain without seeing him even for one day. You should reach a state that if you are not able to meet him for over a week, you become so much impatient that you lose all interest in your work and always keep planning how to meet him. And such a bond should develop that the Guru too becomes restless when you do not meet him for so long. This is the state of an awakened conscience. But all you do is the recitation of Hanuman Chalisa. What can be achieved by just mechanically reading the Chalisa? You may spend all your life offering oblations in the holy fire. You may sing hymns in praise of Lakshmi. Your ancestors did this, and so can you. But Lakshmi never appeared before your father or forefathers, and she won't appear even before you. Your ancestors have merely burnt butter in the fire, and you too are doing the same. Lakshmi won't appear by burning incense or singing hymns. There is a different way to make her appear, and that way is the path of divine knowledge. You should become enlightened and should no longer remain lifeless. You are like a living corpse, and you are imprisoned in a small house along with your wife, your mother, sons, grandsons, and some money. You do not possess anything else. Leave that small enclosure and enter into this vast expanse of spirituality. This is the path of sadhana where first you shall have to develop a spirit of serving others. If you offer 5 rupees to Lord Hanuman with the hope that he would help you win a lottery, then your whole thinking process is wrong. Why wouldn't Hanuman win a lottery for himself instead of helping you win? There was once a temple of Lord Hanuman, and 1 mile away from it there was a temple of Lord Rama. A person went to the temple of Rama and started praying to Lord Rama. After performing worship, he offered sweets to the deity. Lord Rama was pleased. He appeared before him and said, "Well, son, why are you here?" The man replied, "My wife is missing. Please help me." At this, Rama said, "This is not my work. 1 mile from here is Lord Hanuman's temple, who looks after this department. When my wife was missing, I too sought his help, and he found her. Hence, you go to him." Here the departments have actually been divided. If you go and tell Lord Rama that your wife is missing, he won't be able to help you. You shall have to go to Lord Hanuman. Rama will only say, "I myself could not find my wife. Go to Hanuman, he shall help you. And if you go to Hanuman and say that you are not able to get married, he will say, I am myself unmarried. I could not find a girl for myself, then where shall I find one for you? What we have done is that we have divided the work among all the gods. Each god has his own work. Hence nothing can be achieved if you offer 5 rupees to them and pray to them with folded hands. You shall have to perform sadhana and make the gods appear before you. Offering service means selfless services. You should not have any selfish motive, and along with selfless service, there should be a feeling of sacrifice for the good of others. Sacrifice of something which is most liked by you. If you have 5 kgs of sweets and you give 1 piece to someone, then this is not sacrifice. But if you have 1 loaf of bread and you give half of it to someone, then this shall be true sacrifice. But sacrifice must be made only for the good of others, or where it has some significance. If you buy a shirt for 100 rupees and offer it to me, then this is no sacrifice. This act is useless, for I already have 40 to 50 shirts and I don't need any more. If you bring sweets for me, then they too shall go waste, for I do not eat sweets. I don't expect such material things from you. On the other hand, it would be more useful if you contribute your efforts in the progress of the work of the trust. I have bought a land, and if someone builds a hall on it for the benefit of the sadhaks and the general public, then he shall surely obtain the results of his good deed. It does not matter how much the benefits of the results are, but what matters is that he has contributed to a good cause. If I had not planned to make the ashram, someone might have set up a bar there and people would have consumed liquor at that very place. This could have happened, but now only holy ceremonies, sadhanas, shall be performed there. And if you contribute in such work, then this shall be your sacrifice. Your help shall prove to be beneficial to thousands of people and more useful than if you offer gifts and sweets to me. Service means that through which the common man can benefit. This place needs a good signboard. I am not asking you to get one painted. I want to tell you that any work which has some general utility is a good service. You may be in any temple or in any place, wherever sacrifice and services are required, you should move forward to help. Service, sacrifice and devotion are the 3 steps to spiritual enlightenment. Devotion means dedicating everything you possess, giving up all you have, and becoming one before whom or before what you devote yourself. When devotion is complete, you shall obtain everything. Thus you have to first empty out everything if you want to acquire the spiritual treasure. When the jug is empty, it can be filled again to its brim with one liquid. If your mind, your thoughts are already full, then I cannot write anything new on it, and my whole discourse shall go in vain. Only when you bring a plain empty sheet of paper shall you be able to read the lines which I shall inscribe on it. If already it is filled with lies, deceit, immorality, then what can I write on it? Where shall I write? You say to your Guru, I have given up all I possess to you and am now empty. I am sitting in your feet, and it is up to you to give whatever shape or form to my life according to your wish. Till now I have lived life as I wished, Now you teach me how to live. You tell me what to do and how to do. I shall do whatever you ask me to. This is devotion. When you become devoted, then your position, your fame, all become insignificant. Then even if you are a millionaire, it would have no significance. Devotion means that you are nothing. It won't do if you say that you are devoted and then feel proud that you are an officer or you are such a great scholar. This is not devotion. Devotion means you are nothing at all, that you are empty, that you have no position, no fame, no money, no power, no wealth and nothing. Whatever you do have in material terms is at your home. Here in the feet of the Guru, you are fully devoted. And when a person reaches this stage, he becomes a true disciple. He is not a disciple from the beginning. First, he is just a curious person, then he becomes enlightened, and after adopting the three principles, service, sacrifice and devotion, he becomes a disciple. Disciple in Sanskrit is Shishya and it means to come closer. The disciple always comes closer to the Guru. This does not mean that he should go and embrace the Guru. This is not what I mean by coming closer. About 4 to 5 years back, when I was returning from Gangotri, there was this disciple who made very good arrangements for the 200 disciples who were with me. He arranged for their stay and their food. I promised to visit his house in Hyderabad. When I reached Hyderabad, he had hired a musical band and was feeling very happy. He had arranged for us to stay in a guest house, and on the gate of the place he stood with a plate containing a dozen lighted earthen lamps for Arati. When I reached the gate, he started the Arati. I stood there with my wife and some other disciples as he performed the ceremony. While performing the Arati, he came closer and closer, and soon the flames from the dozen lamps were hardly an inch or two from my face. I turned my face and he came even closer. I strained my neck backwards to its limits. Still the intense heat reached me. I hesitated to say anything to him as all his relatives, friends stood nearby. I thought, if I say something, he will feel hurt, and if I don't, my brows and hair will burn. I moved a step backward, and he moved still closer. O Gurudev, thou art an ocean of kindness. He sang as he performed the Arati, and I said to myself that soon this ocean of kindness shall end up on a bed in some hospital. I extended my hand to stop the Arati, but he said, Guruji, it is rarely that we get a chance. You hardly come to visit us. I said to myself, you have got a chance and I am stuck up. This does not mean that you send me straight to a hospital. To him I said, perform Arati from a distance. He said, Guruji, such occasions do not present themselves again and again. Today we have at last got a chance. And speaking these words, he came still closer to me. The intense heat almost scorched my face, and it seemed as if ages had passed when the Arati finally concluded. Till then, my face had become red like a hot iron. My poor wife became overtly anxious at my sorry state. She kept looking at me and with inquiring eyes, as if saying, "What is all this?" I said to her, "What can I do? Today I am caught up amongst my disciples. I have always been kind to them. Now it is up to them whether they shower me with their kindness or not. Shishya does not mean that you come and ram into me and then say that I had asked you to come closer. Believe me, for coming closer, it's not necessary for you to break my bones. Coming close means becoming one with my soul, forming a bond with my soul and with my heart. When the disciple reaches the third stage, he comes closer to the Guru. Coming closer means that even his thoughts are not his own. In this state, there remains no questions in his mind. Then he does not even think whether the Guru is an ordinary man of flesh and blood or he is a god. He only thinks that he is his Guru and his Guru is everything for him. When his thinking transforms in this manner and when he touches the feet of the Guru, he realizes divinity in those holy feet. When this happens, his eyes fill up with tears of joy, and thus the disciple learns how to devote himself fully. When he becomes fully devoted, he obtains everything from the Guru. In this relation of Guru and disciple, there is no give and take. Establishing yourself in the soul of the Guru means getting closer to him so that your soul and his soul fuse to become one, and even your physical form becomes one with that of the Guru. All the time, only one thought should remain in your mind, and that is how to make the Guru happy, because then the body of the Guru becomes your own, and if a thorn pricks the feet of your Guru, you feel the pain, you feel restless. You shall not be in distress, but shall still experience restlessness. Then you shall know that something is wrong. This shall happen only when your soul fuses with mine and becomes one with it. They shall become one when you become a disciple, when you devote yourself. Akiyan ki kar kotari, putli palang bichai, palkan ki chik dar ke, piyu ko liya rinjai. These lines were spoken by Meera, and she says, Akiyan ki kar kotari, that is, I want to make a room of my eyes. Putli palang bichai, I want to make a bed of the pupils in my eyes. Palkan ki chik darike, with the image of my beloved in my eyes, I shall close the curtain of my eyelids. Piyu ko liya rinjai, and thus I shall win over my beloved. She further says, Na main dekhu aur ko, that is, then I shall look at no other man. Na tohe dekan dehu, and neither shall I let you see anyone else when I shall have confined you within my eyes. This is the state of complete devotion, and on reaching this stage, Kabir says, Main tumhari bahuriya hoon, that is, I am your beloved. And this is why the Shishyopanishad says that Guru and disciple are like two lovers, because the most close relation in this world is between two lovers, and such closeness is not seen even in the relation between a parent and a child or between a brother and a sister. This is because in this relation there is always something new and fresh. There is a deep longing to meet again and again. Both remain restless to be together. If the girl fails to turn up one day, the boy feels uneasy and worries lest she is unwell. Or maybe he thinks her parents have stopped her from coming to him and he starts abusing them. He remembers that she had promised to meet him in Connaught Place. He looks at his wristwatch and realizes that there are still 5 minutes left. Perhaps she will come, he thinks. 2 hours pass and he still keeps waiting. It cannot be her fault, he says to himself. It is her father who is so mean. He decides to go to her house. What if her father sees me, he thinks. Still gathering some courage, he reaches her place and keeps standing some distance from her house in the hope that she would appear in the window or the terrace. She won't appear, and all night he shall remain perturbed. He cannot even ring her up because each time he gives a call, her mother picks up the phone. Why doesn't this old woman die? He says to himself. The whole night is spent waking without a moment's mental peace because this is the relation of 2 lovers and not a husband and wife. If you say to your wife that you don't wish to have food, instead of asking you if you are well or not, she won't even care and shall say, "Fine then, you can eat tomorrow." As lovers, you may have loved her deeply and your sweet affair may have lasted 2 years. But as soon as you got married, all the enthusiasm and love seemed to have vanished forever. You won't even feel like talking to her and shall start looking for another girlfriend. You shall think that now she is your wife, thus she shall remain forever, so there is nothing to worry about her. She shall ask you why you came late from office. You shall reply that you work in an office and that you are not her servant to arrive exactly at 5 o'clock. This is the same girl you loved so dearly. She will say that she has not had food since the previous evening and you shall not care at all. You shall ask her to better go to the doctor and then you shall not give another thought to her illness. This is because the mutual attraction has vanished. No such love exists between a husband and a wife. This is why it's always said that the deepest love is between 2 lovers. The same close bond must exist between a guru and a disciple, between a devotee and God. If one of the 2 has promised to meet at 3 o'clock and does not turn up, then the other should feel uneasy, worried and impatient. Narayano Nikhileshwarananda Mata Pita Guru Atma Twamevam Brahma Tvam Vishnu Rudra Twamevam Siddhashramo Tvam Guruvam Pranamyam Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhuscha Saka Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Twadeeyam Vastu Nikhilam Tubyamevam Samarpayeth. Jai Gurudev. Parampoojya Gurudev Yogiraj Swami Nikhileshwarananda ಮಹಾರಾಜರ ಪವಿತ್ರತಮ ದಿವ್ಯ ಚರಣಾರವಿಂದಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಸಪ್ರೇಮಪೂರ್ವಕ ಸಮರ್ಪಣೆ. ಈ ಪಾವಾನುವಾದ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಕೃತಜ್ಞತಾಪೂರ್ವಕವಾಗಿ ಗುರೂಜಿ ನಿಖಿಲ್ ಸಚ್ಚಿದಾನಂದ